I think definitions are always problematic, labeling yourself as one thing, but I don't consider myself an intensely masculine figure. I feel there's a lot of femininity. This binary definition is problematic to me, but I always felt that the idea of masculinity or femininity as two binary things, one is one and one is zero, and they can never interact. I mean, even at the time when it was a popular notion, I found it ridiculous. And especially in today's times where gender is a spectrum, and certainly the ideas of masculinity and femininity, what they mean, what their cultural implications are so fluid, or hopefully fluid, and hopefully they become more fluid and they break apart. You look at the politics of the world today, and you look at all these strongmen kind of figures, Donald Trump and Putin, why they're rising in popularity. There is a regression, a counter-reaction to that fluidity, to that breaking of formal masculinity. I find it very ridiculous. There is a necessity. Obviously, human beings need a father figure. It's scary to watch. But on the other hand, if you realize what it is, it's a metaphor of a father figure. It doesn't have to be a male figure. It can come in many ways, shapes, and forms. The idea is to have security, and I think that's what people are yearning for. And people are yearning for simplicity, and that's why they go to those strong men. And I think that's very different than masculinity. Masculinity can be many things. What I'm trying to reach is that sense of this old school class that has nothing to do with gender, and the idea of gentleman that can also be a gentlewoman, but this idea of civility, a sense of dignity and conduct in the civil circle, I'm nostalgic about without even living in a time where it existed. This mythology of this old school world where deals were done in a handshake, integrity was the word. I know it's non-existent, and I know it was probably non-existent even in the 40s. I like the cynicism of it. I like to make belief. And then I like in the show to break it. I'm a man and I have these suspenders, and then, but uber feminine in the way I present it. And honestly, I think about it only when people ask me about it. It just seems very natural for me to shift between the different versions of self, and I don't really look at them as gender related.